Just saying, it's a crazy time. You can't afford not to like black people. You don't like black people enough, you could become one yourself. I'm not the only black man with a bunch of mugs.
Right.
It's them young ones that's coming.
Yes,
That'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm independent. I pay my bills.
Right.
I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss by yourself for that. But I just wished of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Katt Williams just lit Shannon Sharpe up, and trust me, he didn't sugarcoat a thing. After ESPN showed Shannon the door, Katt came swinging, saying it's hard to feel sorry for him when he walks straight into a trap people been warning him about for years. If you missed the tea, Shannon's clean-cut image took a massive hit after PN suddenly cut ties with him. This move came right on the heels of him quietly settling a $50 million lawsuit with OnlyFans model Gabriela Zuniga, and that's when the whispers turned into headlines. Here's the wild part. Katt already told Shannon to his face on Club Shay Shay.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
That certain moves could get him tangled up real bad. Katt spelled it out clear. Getting mixed up in the wrong kind of romance can flip your whole life upside down. Monique even jumped in with her own unfiltered advice, telling him, "You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you." That's not shade, that's survival talk. But Shannon, he brushed it all off like it was nothing. Now here he is, unemployed, embarrassed, and trying to figure out his next move.
Grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
You tried to say that. What you tried to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Instead of keeping his head low and his wallet safe, he went full speed into a situation that cost him millions, put his name in every gossip column, and left him looking like he just got played in broad daylight. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse for Shannon, boom, ESPN straight up cut him loose. Let's be real. What big network is gonna roll out the red carpet for a guy whose biggest headline now screams lawsuit settlement? That's career poison. Katt Williams is sitting back saying, "I told you so." And he's not wrong. People close to the situation say Katt's got zero sympathy for Shannon. Why? Because UNC had the money, the platform, and the respect, and still fumbled it by making the dumbest move possible. One insider even spilled that Katt's warning about certain women wasn't random at all.
Want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
You see Jonathan Majors, what he went through. Marvel dropped him as soon as the conviction came out. And you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all four. Guilty, 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 guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart.
He already knew Shannon was messing with this young OnlyFans model long before the lawsuit hit the public. Katt saw that setup from a mile away. Sure, he framed it like he was talking about Jonathan Majors during that interview, but those shots were aimed dead at Shannon. It just proves what people keep saying. Katt might joke for a living, but he doesn't lie about the game. Still, Shannon didn't listen. And here's the kicker. He actually thought coughing up millions in that settlement would help him keep his ESPN gig and sweep the mess under the rug. Instead, they dropped him like yesterday's news. And that model, she cashed out and bounced. Gabriela quit OnlyFans a single day after the settlement went public, hopping on Instagram to announce, "Today I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. This community has given me a life I could never have imagined." Talk about timing. Gabriela didn't just walk away with a fat payout.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really want it to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And, I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first 2 brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN.
She strutted off into early retirement. She told her followers, I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. Translation? Shannon basically funded her for life. She locked in generational wealth off a 50-year-old man who was out here moving reckless. You couldn't script this better if you tried. And here's why people are dragging him so hard. It's not just that he got played, it's who we're talking about. This is the same man who once bragged he'd never spend more than $30,000 on his own daughter's wedding. Now fans are pulling the receipts, and the hypocrisy is loud. Leaked texts show Shannon admitting that Gabriella was charging him $25,000 for each meeting. That's nearly a wedding budget for a single night. Social media went in, with one person posting, "It needed to happen to expose how much of a hypocrite Shannon is. He lost the little respect he had left." Another user didn't hold back, writing, "Shannon Sharpe has done so many things wrong, but finding out he was cheap with his daughter's wedding really made me side-eye him. You paid more for that young white girl who saw you as a lick. How dumb was that?" And just when the humiliation meter was maxed out, the final blow landed, only days after the settlement was inked and millions were promised to Gabriella. ESPN made it official and cut every single tie with him. No suspension, no, let's wait it out. They dropped him like he never mattered. ESPN didn't even bother faking politeness. No statement, no PR spin, nothing. When People magazine reached out for comment, the network basically ghosted them like Shannon never even existed. Shannon finally broke his silence on July 30th during the Nightcap podcast. He tried to play it cool, claiming he was at peace with the firing, but then admitted he'd begged PN to hold off on announcing it. Why? Because his older brother Sterling Sharpe was about to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Shannon knew the scandal would overshadow the biggest moment of Sterling's career. Shannon even said he had to apologize to his brother for dragging his name into the mess. But ESPN, Disney, they didn't care. They shut him down and ignored his request completely. And here's where it gets even more brutal. Shannon wasn't just losing a job. He was on the verge of bagging a monster payday. We're talking a $100 million podcast empire deal that would have rolled all his shows under one roof. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. Fact, on April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella dropped her lawsuit, Front Office Sports reported Shannon was expected to sign that 9-figure contract. That's life-changing money, generational wealth on his own terms, gone in the blink of an eye. Now, not only is the deal dead, but he's been wiped off the ESPN roster, blacklisted from the Disney family, and iced out of every major network in their orbit. ABC, Hulu, you name it. One lawsuit didn't just cost him a bag, it nuked his entire future. If you thought Shannon's downfall ended there, think again, because the story only gets uglier from here. ESPN didn't just fire him, they erased him. No press release, no "we wish him the best," nothing. When People magazine came knocking for a comment, The network straight up ghosted, acting like Shannon Sharpe had never even worn their mic. Shannon finally broke the silence on July 30th during his Nightcap podcast, trying to keep his cool and say he was at peace with the decision. But here's the truth. He was begging behind the scenes. Shannon admitted he asked PN to hold off on announcing the firing until after his older brother, Sterling Sharpe, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He knew the scandal would completely overshadow the proudest moment of Sterling's career. Shannon even apologized to his brother on air, admitting he dragged him into the storm. And ESPN? Disney? They didn't care one bit. They shut him down cold. But here's the part that'll make your jaw drop. Shannon wasn't just losing a job. He was days away from signing a $100 million deal that would have turned him into a podcast mogul. We're talking every single one of his shows. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies, all under one mega deal. On April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella's lawsuit landed, Front Office Sports confirmed he was set to sign that 9-figure contract. But when the legal mess hit, poof, gone. Now the bag is dead. ESPN's door is slammed shut, and Disney's blacklist has his name in bold letters. ABC, Hulu, every big network in their circle, off limits. One scandal didn't just dent his career, it detonated it. Just when you think Shannon's fall from grace can't get any nastier, it does. ESPN didn't just send him packing, they wiped him clean from the books. No farewell post, no thank you for your contributions. Not even a fake PR statement. When People magazine came calling for a comment, the network went full ghost mode, acting like Shannon Sharpe was never even part of their roster. He finally broke his silence on July 30th during Nightcap, putting on his calm face and claiming he was at peace with the decision. But behind that front, he was begging. Shannon admitted he pleaded with PN to delay announcing the firing until after his big brother, Sterling Sharpe, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He knew his scandal would hijack the headlines and steal Sterling's shine. On air, Shannon even apologized to his brother for dragging him into the mess. And ESPN? Disney? They hit him with a cold no and pulled the trigger anyway. But here's where it stings the most. Shannon wasn't just losing his ESPN spot. He was days away from locking in a $100 million mega deal that would have put all his shows, Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies, under one giant money-printing roof. On April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella's lawsuit dropped like a bomb, Front Office Sports reported the deal was practically signed. Then the lawsuit hit, and just like that, the whole thing vanished. Now, the bag is gone. ESPN is history, and Disney's blacklist has his name carved in stone. That means no ABC, no Hulu, no shot at working with any network in their orbit. This wasn't just a career setback. This was a full-blown professional demolition. Once a scandal like this sticks to you, especially one this messy, there's no easy comeback. In the media world, reputation is currency, and Shannon just went bankrupt. Every single project that was supposed to crown him as a podcast mogul, gone the second he decided to get tangled up with a 19-year-old white girl. And that loops us right back to Katt Williams' point. Nobody's shedding tears for Shannon. He had the fame, the money, the connections, the power, and he still fumbled it by making choices that any seasoned vet in his position should have seen coming from miles away. So here's the real question. Was this downfall entirely Shannon's fault? Did ESPN act too fast, or did they do exactly what needed to be done to protect their brand? And how wild is it that he was willing to hand millions to an OnlyFans model to make the lawsuit disappear, while putting his own daughter on a strict wedding budget? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.